Hello and welcome back to Flexible Games, where we are slowly working our way towards a production of roughly 40,000 green circuits per minute. That's my goal. Achievable? I think so. We will see. We are working on steel. We are going to master steel and work our way to oil. Now that we got steel, I can actually just grab some steel, go to production. I'm going to start with 5 refineries. And I can start with 1 pump jack. Believe it or not, that will probably be enough. What I need the most is just steel. So chemical plant is iron. Got lots of iron. I have brick in my inventory. Grab some more. I'm gonna brick this shit up here. So I've got zinc full. Lead is almost full. Obviously, these are just not enough for 4. I mean, the ratio depending on how fast these fill up. I mean, these have mining time to a little bit more mining hardness here, so that does affect it. Not overly much. Look at, there's a huge base down here. Huge base. Let me research. I mean, this gave us a science pack, so we are good to go with that. I need to get some military stuff going. Centrifuge, lab efficiency. I need to start. See, there's costs of these. I'm not sure. Do those have a special lab that I need to put them in? Modules. Oh, these all require like advanced circuits. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. That is going to be a complicated system. Very complicated. So where are my labs? I think my labs are not there. Am I blind? There they are. Oh, modules lab, yep. So I think I have to, yep, I'm going to have to craft the circuit boards to even craft the research. And that is going to take both green and red circuits. So I am quite a ways away from that research. And there is a massive base over here. That is frightening. Very frightening. Let's shed some light on the subject. Yeah, and they're attacking me. I'm not even producing all that much pollution. Oh, Lord. I am going to probably regret this. Losing a turret right now would be devastating. Well, since they're not repaired, I'm just going to do it. Just kill everything down here, please. Please. Oh, didn't quite kill everything. Oh, goodness. never quite know what's going to spawn, so I can't believe I'm getting adults and stuff already. That was... something's not right about that. But, you know, we... by the skin of our teeth, we're surviving. So here is my first pump check. So, I mean, it's plenty. It's going to give us more than enough. Let's take that. Do that. But we definitely need that turret to be active down there. So what I'm thinking, and we're going to kind of try to tweak this a little. I've got, you know, plenty of oil. The challenge is getting the oil to the refineries and refining it fast enough to cater to how much we're going to need. We're going to use a lot of plastic and a lot of petroleum gas. So I want to make sure what we're pumping is good to go. So I'm thinking pump it directly into a tank, and with that huge amount of that we're going to get, it will fill the tank very quickly and keep the pressure. The fluid dynamics in this game are rather weird. So I don't know why it's going up so slowly. I mean, this should be getting 4,000 per second. I don't know why it's going up 20 at a time. So I honestly don't know what's going on there, but we're just gonna wing it. So I can never remember which one is oil and which one is water when it comes to advanced. So we don't want to care about that. We're going to need to use this for some belts, so I don't want to go too high with this. So I'm not going to worry about which one's water, which one's oil. I'm just going to place and go from there. So we essentially want 1 or 2 per 5 refineries. So let's just place the refineries. I usually do a two gap in between. Like that. That might not be enough space on the top. Let me take this off and put it down here. Okay, so this is the only one we have available. Copy and paste. Excellent. And we have plenty of iron, so we are going to do this. And I want to say oil is the top one. I could be completely wrong about that. I'm probably completely wrong about that. So we'll just go with it. And I'll put these here just for future. Because the first thing we're going to research is advanced oil processing. Because we're going to use a lot of oil. A lot of petroleum gas. So we want this to come out here. No, let's do, this is going to be here. I'm going to have an extra one here, so let's do this. And match this up and match that up. Give us some pipe, connect that, and we have oil. Now, the way that I manage all the different types, this is one of the tricky parts. I mean, it's pretty standard to do 3, 2, 1. It just depends on which, you know, where you're cracking what you're doing with it. I'm just going to make just a ton of these. So one way to do it, because we're going to be using so much of it, we're going to be refining, we're going to be upgrading the refineries, and we'll be God modulating them eventually. I mean, that is a while away. But it's going to be producing so much that we're going to want plenty of storage as well as processing. So I'm leery to take too much of this space in refining. However, we do need a lot of refineries. And in one instance, I moved them all up and over and stored them all up here. Another instance, I had blocks of 5, and I would have a big gap in the middle. I move everything down and into here, and that way I had plenty of room for cracking. So I think that's what I'm going to do this time. Go down, and let's put another light. It's a good spot for lights in here. And so I'm going to move everything down and then have a trunk coming here. So I'm kind of doing the trunk system with my oil as well. So all of the stuff gets piped down and trunked over. And this has an extra one. This is one of the most tedious aspects of the game right here. A lot of people sort of dislike underground pipes just because it's kind of finicky. So you want to leave a gap there. Oh, of course I run out right at the end. You want to leave a gap there. That way I can put undergrounds this way to come over. Just keep everything offset, because the next line of oil refineries can go right here. So this will be the output for these right here. So essentially the next one will go right there. So that will match up. There'll be a little gap here for walkway, and the next set of refineries can be right there. And then oil, raw oil, can come through either one of these. It can come underneath here. I kind of leave myself, I don't like packing them all in together really close. I like to leave myself some walkway and some breathing room just to keep things semi-organized. So I do want to leave a gap. I know a lot of people probably would underground everything and then come back later, but leaving a gap allows me to just maximize how much space I'm giving myself. So I'm going to leave space for 3 rows, and this is centered right here. I'm leaving my space 1, 2, 3 rows of refineries. And now I can get into storage. So the top one is heavy oil, which is great. Heavy, light, petroleum gas. Heavy, light, petroleum gas. Heavy, light, petroleum gas. And when I do the lower ones, I'll do the same thing, only come up with them and have a different set of pipes coming in. That way I can maximize the flow rate and maximize how much is moving. Now, fluid dynamics is kind of weird in the game. Depending on the viscosity of the fluid, and things like that, the pressure, these pipes are the standard pipes. The mods add different pipes with different sizes. And the general rule, and somebody in the comments can correct me, the general rule is the thicker the material, so like crude oil or heavy oil, the thicker the material, the thinner you want your pipes. It's kind of kind of backwards. As far as I can understand it, the lighter and like, you know, petroleum gas, the lighter it is, you can have wide pipes and have the material move through really fast. But if it's slow, thick material, a wide pipe will not help because it has to pressurize each individual pipe before it moves on to the next one. So when this is getting pressurized, when there's only like one in here, and then let's say the size was 20 or 30, if there's one in here, the next pipe won't get any oil until this pipe is, you know, got maybe 10 in it. Whereas if they're really thin, there's not much space, so they pressurize really fast, and that allows the thicker material to move through a little bit more efficiently. So let's move on to our storage system. So petroleum gas is literally what we want the most of, and it's what we're going to use the most of. So I store it usually near the top. I do heavy oil near the bottom because you crack heavy oil into light oil, and you crack light oil into petroleum gas. So it's sort of just a tier system that goes up. And then with the petroleum gas at the top here, I have the coal right here, the water right here for cracking, and I can do a huge block of plastic production, which I do. I have 30 chemical plants producing plastic, at least. I don't know why these don't have a little symbol on them. They should have a little symbol like that. There is light oil in them. Okay, so petroleum gas is going up. So let's map that out. And I'm going to use one tank for each right now. Maybe not, yeah, one tank for each. Because the mods add their own bigger tanks. And that... Okay, well I'm going to still make sure that I'm low here. Because we're going to need copper smelting. And that looks good right there. So we're going to add petroleum gas right there. Okay. Now light oil. Oh, so dark. A lot of lights. Let's get some power. Try to keep my power relatively straight. Like that. Get some lights up in here. There. So we're just going to run down the line so we can see. Some lights in for everybody to view. Darkness sucks. So light oil, you know, I'm going to leave myself a gap here. Let's see, since we have, these are pretty good spacers here. So light oil cracking, you know, once we get upgraded chemical plants, we actually won't need that many of them, especially with God modules and the just insane production that it gives. So I won't plan on very large cracking. So let's take this sort of gap right here. Let's use this area for light oil cracking. So for light oil, we're going to just go up, still keeping the space like that. We're just going to go just the maximum amount over. And we need another tank. Oh, I've already got enough. So the tank can go here. And let's fill this in. And we have storage for light oil. And heavy oil, we're just going to keep it right at this level. We are going to leave a gap and then go straight over. Because heavy oil, we're going to need lubricant, and we're going to need some other stuff from heavy oil. So that is your basic storage for oil. I now have oil coming in. Next, we will work on plastics and really start working on circuits. Try to get for the goal. We're ways away from the 40,000 goal, but we'll get there. And I have no doubt. Anyway, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.